Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Trash Can League casted by myself, Harrison. This is round number 1. This is the first ever match being played from this league, and I'm very excited that it's going to be played between Passi and Sheckler. Game number 1 will be on Florida. Passi playing as the Germans, playing as the colour red, and he's up against Sheckler playing as the Dutch in the colour pink up to the north of the map. Now, I haven't changed my colours. It just looks like that Sheckler's a very big fan of the pink colour, and Passi's gone with the red. Maybe Passi was the player 2 slot, and Sheckler was like, I'm going to play as pink today. So we do see Passi opening an exceptionally early trading post here on the game, utilising the early coin from the market, buying an extra batch of wood to get the early TP, now chopping for a house. And Sheckler, meanwhile, does have a couple of vills on the coin mine. House has already been dropped down. And looking at his point of view, has he got... That's Mother Nature, pardon me. Sheckler, he's already got his hunting dogs, it's been seen. Spent the wood on that, and I was just gathering his coin. 10 vills. Would he go for the 14 vill? I think with this macro he is. But there's a lot of coin treasures out in Florida that could be able to help him decide whether he wants the 14 vill or 15 vill, which is... More standard in the olden times, but I really do like the tempo that the 14 vil provides you. Now, I've played a practice game with Passi on this matchup, on this map, and Passi did manage to defeat me. Played very, very well. Went kind of Volan heavy, as to be expected. I tried a Hussar opening, but I didn't find it quite working out compared to, let's say, going defensive pikes. But I did see a cheeky batch of doppels being added from Passi, so it'll be interesting to see if he chooses to add doppels on this game as well. 75 wood scouted by Sheckler, so that will help his bank in transition. And meanwhile, Passi doing normal German stuff back in his base, finds an 100 XP treasure, which is absolutely glorious treasure to find for the German player. Obviously, their shipments come in a little bit slower because they get cavalry, the Uhlans, with every shipment from age 2 onwards. A war dog has been captured here from Sheckler as well, helping out to kill those alligators. 75 wood. And Sheckler is going for the 15 vil age up here. It does have 125 wood available. Does have 5 sheep scouted on the map. Could eat 1 or 2 of those in transition to get that bank up super fast. But I'm expecting all of those to go on the wood. And maybe have a balance of like 6 and 9, 5 and 10. Maybe a 5-10 split on through to wood and eat a couple sheep. Herding in a nice second deer. Let's see, has he scouted out this deer hunt to the right? He has scouted this, so he does know where his third hunt is. Bit concerned that he does have 2 back gold mines. I was about to say he hasn't scouted where his next gold mine is. But with a bit of line of sight, maybe he drops a building behind it. He should be able to see that, and that's a very nice position here for Dutch, keeping their vills safe from the German cavalry in the third age, probably. Burlatex in the chat saying these are the Harrison civs. You are absolutely right indeed. These 2 civs are probably my best and second best civ. I do really like how both of the civs play, and I think they play very differently. Some say they're both classic semi-FF civs, but it's more of the Dutch. They try to play the economic advantage, try hold their map, try and defend as much as possible, where German is attack, attack, attack. It's all out attack. And Passi's going for a second trading post here. Does Sheckler scout this? He does scout this trading post here, which is all good. So he does know that the second TP is coming from Passi, which should mean to Sheckler that Passi will be, won't be hitting that same timing of aggression that he normally would. Passi here, hunting those coming in from the market only now. Has always spent a lot of wood on the trading posts at age 1, getting placer mines now, still chopping actually. And obviously, yeah, still not into next age. He must have chopped a fair amount. Let's think about it. It's 100, 300, 425 wood chopped from Passi in age 1, which is certainly a lot. Now aging up with the quartermaster, so that should be stable. 2 houses. And Jay's even got the extra house chopped already for the... Yeah, so it's about 525 wood Passi's chopped in age 1, which is a crazy amount. Instantly going 3 settler wagons. Had the 700 wood queued up straight away afterwards, but he needed to save it for the population space. I wouldn't be surprised if Passi here doesn't have Silversmith in his deck, which I find a little bit curious, playing versus like a more of an economic opponent, like the Dutch, not going to be pushing you. So maybe you can raid with 5 lands, get 4 from the shipment, and then age up with a batch early. Sheckler going for a very fast barracks, dropping it down with 4 villagers, wanting to sit on the back foot and play defensive here. His card order, the classic 700 wood into bank wagon, get a bank on the 700 wood shipment here. And yeah, his third bank being dropped at 526, and then with the bank on the way as well. It's a really good time here from Sheckler's. Really happy with this build. His deck called Daddy Water, always good to see. And the Daddy Sheckler joke has just been around since EP days. He's just one of the nicest members of the community. So we kind of call him here our daddy, and he's just kind of stuck with it. I think he almost took a game off Maito once in a hidden cup in Eastlock patch days. So that was really a good performance there from Sheckler. Working on 135 coin treasure, crack shots from the Jaguar, killing the blowgunner, very nice. But Uhlans are making their way behind Sheckler's base at the time being. He does have a defensive batch of 5 pikemen, which he has trained, has used with the wood from the 700 wood. But given that he's got the house, barracks, and bank, he probably bought an extra 100 wood to get that batch completed. Because you got to remember, you do start the market, so you don't have to drop the market on the 700 wood here. Looking at the rest of his deck, he does have 3 Floits and the Swiss Pikes. Floits because it's Florida, Swiss Pikes because it's probably versus Germany. Both are very, very nice. But versus Germans, you do want to play pretty defensive here. I feel like a cavalry heavy, obviously Reuter and Huss, maybe Reuter, Huss. 5 Haubs, if you get 5 Haubs onto the German Ulan line, they're so effective. The German cavalry just fall over. But here comes a bit more of a forward pressure here. We do have, from Passi's point of view, probably 9 Ulans. Yeah, that's a batch of 5 plus 2 shipments. And there's a forward tower into crossbows. So he has seen the defensive pikes and gone for crossbows. That's a nice adaptation here from Passi. He's done this play versus me a few times. And this is going to cause a bit of a headache here for Sheckler, because he can't just use the pikes to freely just push away the Uhlans, because there are crossbows here. He's focusing down the crossbows with the town centre. That's a good decision. He needs to call Minutemen here. Maybe get a batch of envoys out to try and soak up the damage and get punching. Minutemen being called, another pikeman being queued behind, but there's just so much damage here with the crossbows firing onto the pikemen, but the pikemen just drop, and Danny Sheckler's just left with Minutemen. Does kill a lot of units though, so it's not a terrible trade. Meanwhile, his banks are still working. He's gone for 5 banks as well, which is actually really greedy. He went for the 600 wood after instead of early 8 pikes, but he's now trained another 5 pike, calling an 8 pike shipment behind this. And Passi will be looking to age behind us at some point, going for another batch of Uhlans, but using the 700 coin to age up afterwards. And yeah, the crossbows have been left hang out to dry as the pikemen clean up. But I don't believe many vills even went down there. Passi at 23 pop. Sheckler's still at 21 pop, and 21 pop is usually what you age up with, so a bit of idle time, but apart from that, everyone's looking relatively healthy here. Passi's trained his final villager before clicking up. He's got gold at the back in his base, but not really gathering up with his settler wagons just yet. He needs to be on that much faster. I think he's got a couple settler wagons looking to pick this up now, and yes, he's kind of found a few to walk around. 2 Uhlans just going to try and raid behind. Sheckler was maybe thinking of going for a trading post, but I don't think he will now. Passi clicking up. And Sheckler also about to click up as well. Still got quite a lot of sheep in his base, which is going to help him get a nice mass early age 3 when he decides to eat them. I think now will be a good time to eat them. He's got no Reuters, so he can't push out for another hunt. And yeah, the Uhlans coming back again. He's pushing in because he knows that the pikemen are out of position because they're sieging a trading post. And they're going in, and all the villagers are idled. So this is a great trade here for Passi. A bit of town centre far, not a problem. He just idled the entire eco of the opponents. And the pikemen are being forced to return home. 4 pikes coming, but 4 won't be enough. A couple of villagers trying to get out. 1 villager goes on the wrong side of the town centre. They'll probably path in behind the sheep adjacent to the town centre, but manages to get out alive. Another batch of pikemen in transition. Maybe Sheckler has been buying at the market quite a bit. Yeah, the buy price is at 135, and in this matchup, I even think the market dynamics are a bit interesting because, you know, Dutch can afford to buy at the market quite easily, but Germany, they kind of wince every time they see that price go above 130 odd. And even then, Passi having to buy a batch of wood because he does have now Settler wagons chopping wood, but you know how it is, it's just a bit awkward. So Passi hitting that third age before Sheckler. Sheckler only pushing out with Colonial Pikes, still away from any skirms. He knows Passi's about to pop a forward shipment, probably from the outpost. He's trying to, I guess he's trying to bet that he gets the outpost down before the shipment comes up. But notice 8 skirms now shooting down the pikemen. And this is the time Passi's going to go right in. These pikemen are going to try and trade off the deers have kind of ran away as well during this hour time, and Sheckler's lost his entire anti-cavalry army. There's no stable in base here. Okay, just only now the stable has just come down here from Sheckler going to early Reuter support, but it's just an awkward time in here for Sheckler, losing vills, losing map presence, and needs to be training. And is he aged slow? Is this what it is? He's aged slow as the sergeant at arms, and that's only, oh dear, 6 halberdiers. No, I don't like the slow age up at all here from Dutch. If you're going to slow age up, at least age with the town centre wagon. But obviously, you know, in this matchup, that's just no go. You need to be out early, sending the shipments, and Sheckler now sending 8 skirms and training the batch of hussars. But yeah, unless the skirmishes are dealt with, and it's going to be quite awkward because you really want to have. Reuters out in the field to deal with these veteran Uhlans and try and kite away. The halberdiers are nice, but they can't get close until all these skirmishes dealt with. Now here comes the batch of hussars. Minutemen would have been called. Skirms popping from a little bit of an awkward angle here. They want to close in first, but hussar, halberdier, the skirms being going to be left to get down. I think the Uhlans could just back away here and just accept the trade. Pick off this one more halberdier. That's absolutely fine. And, well, actually, no, the halbs are now being picked off. So trading vets, Uhlans with Colonial Hussars, a nice trade here for the German player. All this X-fighting, just giving Passi more shipments. 3 war wagons, next card being sent in. Bit surprised it's not a 9 Uhlan shipment at this point, so it being 3 war wagons. And yeah, these skirmishers looking a bit isolated. The villagers, they do have their great coats now, having to build a house, but the idle time here from Sheckler is starting to significantly mount up. Can't really protect the skirmishers. Batch of 5 skirm and Uhlan being trained from Passi behind us. Meanwhile, Sheckler, there's the 9 Reuters and the Reuter batch about to pop out as well. Could get a decent pickup here, but just needs to make sure he keeps a distance. But these skirms are awkwardly doing way too much damage for my liking, and even tanking quite a few town centre shots there. Sheckler 5 bank is somewhat keeping him in the game. He could be thinking about go Swiss pikemen afterwards. He does have these sheep still to gather from, so maybe not have these villagers on the coin mine gathering. But at the moment, Passi is in a significant advantage. And actually, just getting the snare from those Reuters from the Uhlans. Make sure he needs to keep a distance there. But I think Sheckler's just trying his best to micro what he can. The only problem is that once they're in range of skirmishers, even 6 skirmishers can probably one-shot a Reuter. They're so low HP and squishy, but each time you do commit, you will be taking losses. Yeah, age up slow is fine in some cases, but the thing with Dutch though, it's the Dutch, they really like sending 1k wood if they can get away with it. So they want to age up fast and they want to have that shipments because you're building so many banks. And here, Passi Sheckler's made 5 banks. You're going to get so much XP, but usually you are guaranteed to have a shipment by the time you reach the Fortress Age. And yeah, Sheckler had a shipment and a half ready to go when he hit the 3rd age because he went 3 700 bank wagon 600 wood, 8 pikes, but got XP from killing units as well. So did have the shipments, and just the fact that he aged so slow just gave the tempo advantage to Passi. Passi had those early 8 skirmishes out in the map, while Sheckler just had those colonial pikes just trying to siege an outpost. And as a result, you know, that gave Passi the ability to get out on the map and start taking that control in the game. Now up ahead, about 3,000 points. Momentarily, it was tied, but I think Passi, wouldn't be surprised if it's a Jaeger shipment here. Yep, Jaeger's on the floor. Passi did the exact same thing to me recently, and Sheckler will be feeling all right at what he's seen here. Not feeling too overwhelmed, but as soon as he sees the Jaegers come out onto the map, I think Sheckler's going to be a bit concerned of how he's going to do this. And even now, Passi being very smart, getting a full batch of war wagons. Still with the 9 Uhlans still to come, which is such a powerful shipment. Shame that second train post was lost from Passi. Those pikemen did manage to pick that up. But yeah, Sheckler's got no hunts in base. He can't push forward. He does have a hunt behind his base. Actually, all the villages are on. Second rack, second stable coming down. Don't think Sheckler tried to do that on the... Well, I did say 1k wood. Yeah, that's what is it? Greedy. To be honest, like you know, Germans are ahead of you, aged up ahead in tempo and shipments. To then give up your third shipment for 1k wood. Sometimes you can get away sending 1k wood's second card, but when it gets delayed this much, it's like, actually, I don't really get too much from the 1k wood at this moment in time. And yes, he's got double racks, double stable, but he really hasn't got production. He's got a dock down, going into a couple fishing boats, which will take a long time to pay off. I like that he's trying this, but at the moment you've got Jaegers on the field, and these are basically triple strength skirms in a mass like this. This is a skirm advantage that Passi drastically wins and outclasses. He should be continuously driving this advantage and just forcing these villagers off the coin mine, off the hunt, and further away from the town centre and more into an isolated position. Market has gone down. The first bank is now being sieged here from Passi. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Dutch player throwing down a market or two behind, because the market is such an important building from the Dutch player. Look at his resources, 1.2k coin, but hardly any other resources to speak of around. He's nearly housed. He hasn't got the wood for them. Oh, there's the market. He's bought the market. He's bought the wood. And built the market, bought the wood. So if next time even Passi goes to the market and sees 146 wood, he's like, yeah, no, I cannot afford that. And probably explains why Passi's chopping. I wonder what techs he has on his wood gatherers. Where is his wood gatherer? He's got one wood gatherer, 1.1, so that's only a gang saw on his set of wagons. He will need a little bit more, but he's up to 190 population, which is pretty decent. Vet Ulan's war wagons keeping distance. The skirm mass here from Passi is really good. 25 plus 12 Jaegers. And Daddy Sheckler, at this moment in time, he only has 22 skirms. Does get a big batch there, 26, but essentially has the same number of skirm count, but nothing to really counter the Jaegers directly. But the Reuters get a decent position, picking up a couple of war wagons. I think these guys are basically absorbing most of the skirm shots, which is not great, because then you're having nothing to protect yourself from the large mass of Vet Ulans being assembled here. Sheckler now sending himself the 5 Hussar card from the Fortress Age. A nice card that is. Passi, though, has sent his 9 Ulans, nearly having another card, and that would likely be his cavalry combat at the moment. Doesn't need to send 7 skirmishers when he's winning the skirm war at this point. Yeah, 10 Jaegers, 25 skirms, with 5 skirms reinforcing, but the Hussars are trying to move in. Reuter's going to try and pick off cavalry, moving in to block the Hussar play from here, but you can see the skirm count from Sheckler is just dwindling, and Passi just dominating this game, pushing in with a stronger army. And for those who say that the Dutch is overpowered, I think this is a very strong matchup here for the Germans, and it's a really nice kind of... It's just a nice game. This has been a nice game in its own right. I'm starting to feel that Sheckler is getting to the position where he can't really come back from this. The Jaegers are still unchallenged. Ideally, infantry combats, skirmishers do have a chance to counter Jaegers, or at least contest Jaegers, but there's no way Sheckler can really afford to send infantry combat when he's got not enough mass of skirmishers standing. And yeah, 23 Reuters, very, very nice, but it won't do enough. Passi has actually seen the dock now. Gilnets has been researched, but the frigate is here. And I guess once you see the dock and you are winning the land, well, win the water as well, send the frigate. And this is tough here for Sheckler, losing these fishing boats. The best thing to do is split them up. I thought the fishing boats were so close to the frigate then, but none of them were getting picked off. But let's look at the positives here from Sheckler. This backing off here from Passi is giving time for Sheckler to breathe. He's double racks, getting another batch of skirms. He's going to cut maybe a Reuter or two. I think he getting the Vills again, but I feel like he's focusing on the skirms, which is the right choice. He's got enough Reuters to cover his position at the moment. Not many Ulans actually on the field here from Passi, which has to be said. I suppose once you see that your opponent has this many Reuters and skirm, this many Reuters, that you will be dissuaded. But the thing is, Reuters can only do damage when they're standing still, and if they're running, then they're leaving their skirms behind, and that's when the Ulans do their damage. Is just on top of the skirm line, and they'll eat skirmishers for breakfast. Okay, Sheckler moving forward again, hasn't repaired the bank. Passi sees this as an opportunity to exploit. Only 600 HP remaining. That bank should go down, and that's going to provide a lot of XP. 280 there for Germany. That's going to be at least a quarter of the way to the next shipment, so that shipment progression will tick along. He's still got 1k coin to send, which is a huge shipment for Germany. Cav combat just coming in as well on 19. Ulan's 7 war wagons, and Sheckler still sitting on unupgraded skirmishers. Jaeger's still getting decent trade, but it's mainly just past him 44 skirmishers versus Sheckler's only 24. Yeah, anytime these skirmishers here from Passi can be fighting, they should be fighting. A couple of vills, Ulan's raiding around. I think Passi's thinking if I can just kill a couple of vills, I can just move back my army and be happy able to mass, because I know that I will have the decent follow up here. The Reuters has gone chasing. The Ulan's gone in for a huge feast, it seems. And the skirms are just frantically panicking, running away to the Reuter mass. The skirms are in hot pursuit, but they're a little bit too slow at the moment. But there's not enough Reuters here. They may kill quite a few Ulans, but the skirm line has gone down. And Sheckler's been working so hard to get this skirm line to deal with this skirmisher mass in Germany, but it's just gone. Passi's here to fight, and he's going to try his best to split micro onto the Reuters and try and pick off 3 or 4 per volley. And it should be pretty possible. Yeah, I do see, 4 going down there. So whether that's a luck of the draw of a Z move or pro-level micro there from Passi, he's showing that he's in a good form for this league. And Sheckler's main civ has been taken out. Well, the game's not called yet, but Sheckler's lost everything. He's lost everything, got 16 vills, 5 idle. Big Hussar batch coming out. Not many war wagons here, but these are Cav combat war wagons, and when you do have this many skirms, 45 skirms, they do one-shot a Hussar anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it too. Another batch of Volans behind. I think there's a 1k coin shipment somewhere on the map. It'll be coming his way soon. Oh, he sent 7 skirms actually in the end. Ah, GG. I would love to type, but I can't type. There's the abandon your tan, and there's the victory is yours. And victory shall be Passi's. Passi winning game number 1, 1-0. Well played to Passi. Congrats to that one. And I had a feeling that was going to happen, actually. I had played a practice game with Passi. He asked my honest opinion, hey, what civ do you think Sheckler will pick here? I'm thinking, well, first game of the tournament, gentleman's agreement. And if he can get away with a Dutch pick, I think he'd be quite happy with that. Don't really want to go Dutch as a first pick and allow it to be countered. So he went to try this, and this is a play all 3 series. Can only play each civ once. So Sheckler's main squeeze is no longer available. I think Passi's very happy with how this opening game has gone. I'm just going to turn off the personal alerts on the casting screen here. Although it's very nice to see that the Gurkha guy has followed, Mufi has followed, and Sommi Mu has followed as well. Thank you very much for hitting that button. A little distracting whilst casting, but it's okay though. That's all good stuff. Let's look at the post game. Here's the post game timeline. What I want to see really is the XP curve here from Germany. Germany with the early 2 trading post play, with the early age 1 trading post thanks to the market play as well. Just really, kickstarting that XP income so much earlier, and the XP from the bank doesn't come close to matching the German XP total from the 2 trading posts early on. And it reminds everyone why Lakota was once a strong civ, and now it's just about there, not thereabouts, but just about there. And I suppose Lakota, you could, with that starting coin crate, could do something similar to German here, open age 1 trading post on Florida. But yeah, the XP came in, and it was the shipments which gave the German player so much tempo. Although shipments is relatively close, if you're equal with another civ, you get to build banks and gets lots of XP from that way, and you get bonuses with your shipments, you're in a great spot. So there's your 2 settler wagons, 3 settler wagons, 700 wood, 8 bows, 700 coin, and that's 8 skirm, 9 Olan, no 3 war wagon, Jaegers, 9 cav, just spamming in, just so many shipments there, and just helped him get that military advantage climbing up. So yeah, it's really good to see like that. This early catch of the Pikes, Sheckler, if you could have aged up, you could have kept the Pikes in reserve. You know that at some point there'll be a big fight with Uhlans, and if you can keep your Uhlans away by fending them off with your Pikes, that means you can cut Roy to production a little bit, maximise your skirms, and then challenge that early skirm mass that Germany was fielding out from the early shipments. And Germany ahead of economy as well, so altogether, well played for both players. Let's move on to next game, game number 2. Fitzbro dropping the I unfollow button. Oh no, you can't do that, Fitzbro. You need to follow back again, because this is the place to watch all of the casted games in the Trash Can League, and we have some good stuff to go with it. Looks like Passi is just refreshing the game. I will say that try a 0 min delay, please. And good effort there, Daddy. There you go. Keeping his spirits up. I wonder what we see for game number 2 coming up. Do know that Sheckler is a very strong player of the Lakota civilization as well. Not quite sure what his third civ may be. It might be Japan. He might like a bit of Japanese play. Also, might need to mention this. We did as a player base competing the guys to sign off who signed up to the tournament. Overwhelmingly decided. Currently 7 votes. Was it 7 votes? 1 abstained, 1 against, and 1 never answered in favour of banning the African civs for the time being. I may review that statement of the rule at a later point if a sufficient balance patch comes out. But at the moment, we saw from the weekend championships from SD's channel on the EGC TV how dominant the African civs were. And yes, there were a few European victories against Africa. That is true. I do accept that. But it's got to be said, what's happened here? Oh well. Passi just said, we just had some out of sync issues. I'm like, I don't care, just restart it then. Oh wait, he said well now. This means it's going to go worse. This is going to go worse. I'm sure Sheckler's still around. I'm sure. Somebody invited me to a game. I've literally just looked back. Was that Passi? I mean, I'm not looking to join any person's games. Bertex, that A's autoplaying to Hausa was impressive. It was, I think. So, although what A's did was impressive, why I think was strong about A's strategy there is I didn't see that the Ottoman was like the main reason for that strategy was the Ottomans. I don't see it. I think other civs there could have done that. I think Spain could do the same idea of musketeers and dervishes, having more shipments coming in, more crates, more units to make there. I'm sure they have native treaties as well. The French, they could do that. They could have upgrades as well on their native units. Brit having a strong eco musketeer upgrades. Lots of villagers, they can go into dervishes as well. So I think a lot of Europeans are starting to kind of look into going into natives to help them deal with certain situations. But it gives a lot of different civs flexibilities. For example, Dutch and Germany having no musketeer. Well, now they can make musketeers through the Akan tribe or through desert infantry. So it's like, well, it gives a lot of people, a lot of civs, a lot of strong content or strong positions to play their game. I have been informed that they have started their game very soon on the 0 minute, and yes, they have. So it looks like Sheckler's home map will be Dakota. So let's hop in to this next game in just a jiffy. Turn down the music. We'll turn it off for the time being. And let's get into game number 2. Drink your water, guys. Every day, drink your water. Right, guys, we're into game number 2 of the round 1 match between Passi and Sheckler. Passi taking a 1-0 win from the last game. And I can leave that for the time being. It doesn't really... I will actually try and resize that and move that scoreboard for you. I've just noticed it is a little bit off. As you can see, the game is live. that is proof we're playing live. It's obviously the game's not going to finish in about 1 minute 20 seconds, so we are live with the players. But let me just try and move that scoreboard. I hit the wrong button. I need to hit the unlock button, and there we'll move that up a little bit. Oh, we'll move the entire. Does that move up a little bit? I don't really want to do this now. Transform, edit transform, position, y-axis up, the x-axis across a little bit. We'll do one more on the y-axis, down. That looks good enough for me, so we'll accept that. Cool. Let me lock that into position so I don't have to do that again, and we'll get back into the game. So, yes, we do see Sheckler playing as the Lakota, Passi playing as the Spanish. This is Sheckler's home map. He gets to pick the map on game 2. Passi picks the map on game 3. But because Passi won the last game, he gets to pick his civilization first, and he's going for Spain on Dakota. And Sheckler has counterpicked Spain with Lakota, which is an interesting pick. This matchup is all based on... For me, it feels like this matchup is really based heavily on Rodoleros versus Bow Rider, Rifle Rider. Rodoleros, if they get up and close with those units, they cut them down pretty efficiently, and they do well in that sense. Where the Lakota player, he wants to really try and spam those Rifle Riders to deal with the rods. But it's just a finicky matchup because the Spanish player has Lancers, they're tanky Lancer cavalry, 30% range resist, high HP, demolish Wikinas as if they're nothing, and have a... they have strong eco behind with European steel traps, TP economy, maybe a bit of Spanish gold. I'm sure he will have Spanish gold in his deck still. Yep, there's the 1v1 standard deck. And rods and lancers filling out to the ranks in age 2 and 3, even having 6 Rodoleros instead of 8 pikes, just showing how, especially in this matchup, pikemen are just not what you want compared to having a Rodolero, because the siege from the pikes not necessarily what is needed. And I don't think... He does have 2 falconets, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see 2 falconets delayed to a longer points in the Third Age compared to when you'd normally see them being called from Spain. Let's actually have a look at the Spanish player's deck, because we've seen from his deck, he's not really interested in going for the logistician age up. He's got to go for standards governor age up, I would feel, so the outpost, 200 gold. Does have ATP as well, but I think that's just a placeholder card. Sometimes you do have it, sometimes you don't. Maybe this is a deck from a quick search type of deck, so it's a deck which caters to multiple maps. Also, it has 5 vills, double wood, double coin crate. The 600 coin here is a bit peculiar, especially having a full rack of 10 cards in age 2 when Spanish players usually jump to the Third Age. So I want to see what his Second Age deck is all about, but he's got no H2 cavalry upgrades, Lancer HP, Lancer attack, but does have infantry combat, infantry attack. These obviously benefit crossbows, pikes, and rods, do not benefit the skirms. And Spanish gold to help his eco take along, and H4 is just heavy cannons and factories. Let's move into Sheckler's point of view. He's gone for a trading post early in age 1 as well, so he's gone for the early market. Got a few couple of coin treasures, bought wood at the market to get the trading post down, and Sheckler's early TP here just giving him an extra economy, aging up now with the chief, so another batch of wood here, 400 wood. That could be stable market tech, so he's already got... they don't get placer mines, silly me, but he's already got hunting dogs. That could be 2 stables, that could be stable, second TP, could even be something as silly as stable and... tribal marketplace, just have a couple of vills dancing on the fertility dance and just increase that economic potential of your civ quite quickly. If you, like 5 vills dancing gives you basically 50% faster training villagers, which is a bit of a cost to get going. But versus Spain, well, if they do the classic Spanish FF, they're not attacking you for a while, so you actually can really maximize this early economic play we'd go for. Explorer pushing Spanish Explorer back to the town centre. And this gives Sheckler the time and freedom to go and get a trading post. So he's just converted these rifles. For a second, I just thought he's going to send like a rifle card or train them. But of course, Outlaws is going to get trained in the 3rd Age from the Lakota, and Outlaw Renegado card is a 3rd Age card. There's Pistoleros and Cowboys in the 2nd Age, but neither of them are what you really need versus Spain. They're alright cards versus pressure if you want to get stuff done in the 2nd Age, but I feel that Sheckler really will value having those Age 3 units like the Rifle Rider, like the Elite Axe Rider. Might see not many Bow Riders being trained in this game, but we'll have to see what the combination is. Passi looking to probably go standard FF into Spanish Gold, 1k wood, and just have 2 Raxes, Skirm, Rodolero production, and then maybe add in things after. So I thought I'd turn that off, but looks like I need to turn them off across the entire board. So for the very time being, I'll turn it back on so you don't hear some random Ville dying and thinking, what on earth has happened there? And I was saying he's Team Passi. No, you can't be supporting Passi. Passi is like the pantomime hero, the pantomime villain here, shall I say. And Sheckler is the hero. We've got to be cheering for Sheckler. Daddy Sheck, a much loved member of the community, and we wish he does well. But honestly, I think Sheckler's been out of practice compared to olden days. And Passi, he's one of those players who says, oh, I'm so bad, I'm this and that. But he's realistically a really good player, up and coming. And I think on a good day, it's hard to say because there's only Smurfs and Ladder, but I would say he's probably about a top 60 player at the moment, maybe top 70. Here comes 7 Rodoleros as a transition card. He cancels the 5 Settlers, but Sheckler should be wise to back off here. Do not engage 40% melee resist Rodoleros. They get to cut through Axe Riders quite quickly. Although Bow Riders are doing some decent damage from range, there is an outpost doing 45 damage versus all the cavalry. Town Centre doing 90, and Rodoleros are still alive, cutting through. This isn't a great trade. Sheckler reinforced with another batch of 5 Bow Riders. This isn't just raiding. Sheckler wants to get damage done in this push. He got 2 training posts. Going to try and follow up with more units. Minutemen being called at a bit of an iffy time here from Passi, but the Bow Riders do retreat for the time being. But Passi, once he gets to the next stage, he can go for the 9 Rodoleros quite quickly. Dropping down the barracks, he needs to build with more. Aged up with crossbows, and that was where the Minutemen came in. Wanting to protect the crossbow age up, and the crossbows is such a strong addition to the Spanish age up options. Obviously, for Hussars here, not very good versus a civ, which like to make a lot of strong Bow Riders in age 2. Dark Black saying that Crab's still a thing. Crab is here and he's enjoying the show like everybody else, and as long as everybody behaves, everybody can enjoy the show. Obviously having Len here as well. Widgie here, Ungers. God, the entire 1600 ELO crew is out tonight in full force supporting their boys in combat. Sheckler moving in with 7 Bow Riders out in the field. He's got 10 in total, so he has 3 recoming. No, it's just, yeah, he's got 10 there. I must have only selected 7 before he reforms with the reinforcements. But yeah, the thing is with this matchup at the moment, Passi is... Oh, don't send Falconets, please, mate. This is one thing you don't want to do, send Falconets at this moment when you've seen no infantry here from Sheckler. No intention of going to the 3rd Age just yet. I'm sure he will be making his way at some point. Yes, he is aging up now. And he's aging up slow with the Wise Woman for Bisons with 2 TPs, though. He should have a shipment if he went fast age and basically can continue this tempo that he's acquired. The thing is, we're going to see Spain in his base very soon, and with Falconet support guarded by rods, you don't want to lose your Bisons for free at this moment in time. You can move, but you do have your Elks nearby as well. So another batch of 4 Bow Riders coming out, looking to get elite Bow Rider. Does have the wood available, ready to go for that tech. He's only got that 1 stable at the back line, so it's crucial that that does not fall. Village on the front line goes down. Everyone's following at the moment, which is great to see. And yeah, Passi likely to be sending another shipment this moment, so he's just sent the 2 Falcons. He's nearly on to his next shipment, so I'm wondering if he probably will be sending 8 Rodoleros at the moment. I can't see him sending 5 Lances when he's got to protect these Falconets, crucially. And actually only 13 Rods and a couple Colonial Crossbows. It looks like a scary army, but I think with mass Bow Rider and quite a lot of people dancing in the community plaza for attack, it's not actually too bad. So bow riders will be coming in here, upgrade. Oh, it's not even up because he's aging slow. Why would you age slow, Sheckler? Why are you doing to this? Did you not learn from the last game? But you do not age slow under pressure. This is this feels like this is game 1 under repeat. I just assumed he'd been up already. So markets come down. He spent wood there. Sends in 9 Wakinas where, yeah, rifles would be much better than Wakinas here actually because they probably don't get destroyed as much by falconets as you'd hope. Crossbows here, not really skirmishes, so don't have that same problem. No upgrades yet coming on. The bow riders getting elite bows from the stable. You do have the wood and the coin. It's only 200 wood, 100 coins. Upgrade these bad boys to the next level, and that's so strong. It's 25% for the war chiefs. The elite upgrade is much stronger than the veteran upgrade for European civs. Wakina's about to pop as well, but because he's delayed his bow riders, he can't push it at the moment. You don't want to push him with colonial units. Does have his community plows on the front line as well, and that will be tanking so many vills. I think when he does decide to fight, he needs to commit to everybody on the attack. I don't think his dance is actually prematurely set to war dance as well, so it'll take time for it to switch over. Shipment ready to be called. Call in rifle riders now. Rifle riders also having a multiplier versus falconets. And yeah, Passi's just retreating before he realizes things are about to get pretty dicey in his situation. And Sheckler aging greedy now has basically paid off. A couple crossbows, Minutemen trying to get some picks off, but he's going to try and pick a couple units off. So far, one bow rider going down for just a Minutemen and crossbow. Good trade here. Roller's moving in. He's going to have to back off. The falconets, though, survived, and that's the main thing from Passi's point of view. The 5 elite rifles managed to make their way onto Dakota. These guys are strong dragoon style units but have bonuses versus artillery, heavy infantry, and hand cavalry. Fun fact, I got an idea testing this from Fitzroy's stream. The African Raz unit is a dragoon tagged unit. It's not heavy cavalry. It has a ranged pistol, but it obviously doesn't have any counters. It just feels like a very strange unit to be called dragoon. Anyway, here come the falconets. They're in range of Wakinas and vice versa. We don't have any hand cavalry here. They're moving around, but the Rod's moving in, forcing the dragoons back. And the falconets taking a good volley onto the thing. But they've actually triggered the Woku Ronins, or Master Samurai, should I say. These guys are going straight onto the falconets. They're high HP as well, 400. And actually, this falconet's taking damage, a blank shot going off there onto the Woku. This is a time to fight. If you're going to fight, fight now. The falconets are distracted. They're being taken down. The Rod's having to engage from the Samurai defensively. There's the 3rd unit coming in. This is the perfect engagement here for Sheckler. And these falconets have gone down. Burrow's going to move in for another volley onto it. And that will go down very, very quickly. And actually, the Master Samurai is still standing. I may trick again. Rod's going to go straight into the Wakinas, but actually they need to go into the bow riders. All the rifles have gone down, and they've been microed down by Passi's skirmishers. But overall, the strength of the army here is still laying with the Lakota player, and I'm fearing for Passi. Dog soldiers are on the way. More kits being trained. There's no one dancing on the fire pit, though. I would like to see at least 5 vills dancing for attack here. That would really help his... And they scale with the base stats or the upgrade stats here, so it's certainly worth having and not to forget about. A lot of coin here from Sheckler. Needs to get more food. Maybe thinking about big button on the 15-minute mark. And yeah, no more artillery, no more crossbows. The skirm's getting cleaned up. And actually, it's relatively easy to deal with Rodoleros. And Passi now has to remass the skirms. Remember from Passi, he skipped 5 vills. He had to call 7 Rodoleros early on. He skipped Spanish gold because he had to call 9 rods, 2 falcons. The Spanish eco at the moment isn't good. It's really not that good at the moment. And Sheckler's now pushing out. He's managed to get away with the wise woman age up. He's got all his villagers gathering the food with the hunting bonus that it provides as well. He will move back. We'll lose a bow rider to the skirms. But yeah, this is the moment. Basically, something like Axe Rider, Wakina do well. Let's try and transition out of bow riders and go into more rifle riders. Could be a good shout at this moment in time. A bit of an off-wall suggestion could be go for Cree, get a couple of CDBs as well. Sheckler only having 1 town centre. Sioux town centres are cheap, only 400 wood. I think they're still 400 wood. It's worth quickly checking from Sheckler's point of view. They're, yeah, 400 wood. So yeah, you could go for a second town centre. It's quite cheap with the Lakota Civ. Cav combat in now, so he's just waiting, massing, waiting for these upgrades to roll in, but the Wakina presence here is quite strong. 18 Wakinas versus how many units has Sheckler got? He's only got the 5 skirms. He's got lots of Rodaleras, but only 5 skirms. And actually, Burrows with their 30% range resist, he's getting his army diced in 2. Lance is going to go straight onto the Wakinas. And actually, this engagement here on the Rodaleras will force the fight from Sheckler. Sheckler will do well to get his dog soldiers in the front row to tank up the Rodaleras. They will get taken down quickly, but at least the Wakinas will be protected. The Burrows will stay behind the meat shield of the dogs, firing onto the rods and the lancers. And overall, Passi pushed out but couldn't commit to that. Hunting in his base is looking to be limited now. Momentum is into the Lakota favour at the moment. There's still no dancing on the community plaza, so no combat stats being applied. Dogs being pinned down by the lancers. The Rodaleras are moving around to cut them down very, very quickly. But there's enough Burrows behind to deal with the lancers. And yeah, the skirms have been microed very well here from Passi, working these Burrows down a few times. These infantry units, the Rodaleras, they have been... they haven't even got infantry combat on. I thought they had, but... yeah, the thing is, they are good, but actually the mass start to get quite low, and the Rodaleras are great, but rods without lancers, that's when they get exposed. There's no kind of miss micro, like, got the Wakinas hitting the lancers, the Burrows hitting the rods, and those rods fell down very quickly. The lancers are going to get focused down, which they do take a lot with them, so it's a good trade, but he's lost his power spike of the lancer production and the lancer shipment, so Passi likely having to gone for his lancer shipment set, and Passi calling the GG, so Danny Sheckler does take a point here as well. It's good to see him back on the scoreboard. The score right now is 1 apiece, and we do see competitive gameplay. Lakota winning. There is hope for all you Lakota players out there. And what felt like a very dicey situation from Sheckler turns into Passi probably pushing out with Falcons. I didn't think he maybe needed Valks. The Lakota train posts were still standing. That could be an easy pickup there for the kind of crossbow rod army that Passi had. The fight came out. Crossbows minutes behind, traded a bit of crossbow and bow riders, but when the fight happens, the Falcons unpacked, they fired onto the mass of Wakinas, but there are 3 angry samurais wanting to get on the action. 400 HP, tanking up so much damage on that fight. That was just insane, and the Falcons did go down. I didn't think they got too many volleys on the Wakinas. The skirms were trading quite well, but behind, Burrows enough to pick the Falcons off, and many units there fell over. And then just applying the pressure to the Spanish player, unable to get out to hunt. And if they can't hunt, they can't reinforce. And Passi missing the 5 vil and the Spanish gold shipment. His eco behind was naturally a bit way off, and never getting around to send the infantry combat card. So yeah, good game there. Let's look at the resources and villager line. We're probably going to see the villager line. Sheckler losing 5 vils, which is more than I thought it would be. I didn't think he had any too far forward of the town centre, so I'm surprised it was actually 5 vils. I know he lost a few vils on this hunt in this location, so that would explain a couple going down. But I didn't realise it was 5 in the end. And Agent Slow just felt he was just so down tempo. If you look at the military population, just 20 population, so 10 bow riders, another batch coming out, unupgraded. Here's the Wakina made and Wakina pop, and only elite bow riders event came here. And there's the 5 rifle riders behind from the 2 train posts. A really good fight, taking advantage of that fight with the stronger elite stats. No war dance though, but the Falcons went down, and then from there afterwards, just the Wakinas ripping through the Rodaleras. Very strong, very good to see. Enjoy that game. 2 good games again. This is why I absolutely love casting games from this ELO range, because both players they get the standard things right. They know quite a bit about the civilizations. A few mistakes here and there, and once the mistakes creep in, it gets messy and it gets fun. And that was a fun game, especially in that middle fight. We look at the economy as well. Interesting to see. I think Sheckler outgathers, yes, because Passi's idled on the age up, and then afterwards most of his ecos through the shipments, but Sheckler ages up with the 20% hunting bonus and gets to send that. I kind of quickly check as well from Sheckler's point of view. I don't think I can. I can, but he never did send the Great Hunter, so that's just hunting dogs eco, 2 crates aging up with, and then just lots of villagers gathering, and then the hunt bonus on the 3rd age. So who says Lakota has low eco? They certainly don't. And towards the end, yes, he did manage to get the dancing, but as we can see from the ceremonial dancers. It's a little late on the side. Oh, he did have a fight in the... Oh, yeah, he had these up before the fortress stage. So this is when he was in...
More reinforcements have arrived.
Oh, A's dropping by with the raid. Thank you very much. We just watched the second game of a playoff series between Passi and Sheckler. Just curious to see Sheckler dancing before the age up here. I'm not too sure what he was dancing for. I don't think it was dancing for attack because he wasn't attacking. He was aging up. But right at the end, just putting all his villagers on just to steal the deal. So, yeah, that's really good. And we'll move on into the final game. But don't worry, guys. There's going to be lots and lots of series. This is the Trash Can League. There's 10 players currently signed up. 9 rounds. Everybody plays everybody. And each win equals a point by the end of the 9 weeks. Whoever wins the most number of games, the most number of points, they will be crowned the champions and receiving prize pool. Currently, I've said I'll give 60 quid for the winner. I think 30 for second place, 25 and 15. But any other donations being received during this time will go to that prize pot. And I think I've got it set up so basically it's going to be the same amount of I want to put in. So if we manage to fill that bar up, then these players will have something more to play for and be putting on some good games. But I've enjoyed the 2 games so far, and long may they continue. And also, drum roll, no African civs, hooray, even better. So, for the time being, that is. For the time being. I think, to be fair, I think quite a lot of the players signed up are more of the older school players. So they really do feel that synergy with older style civs. But, you know, I do listen to those new players who want the new stuff and who maybe the event afterwards, the balancing from the African civs will be up to standard and we can have a fun event with every civ under the sun. Tarantino just saying it straight as it is. Yes. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. With the house, particularly, it's the rush, it's the tempo. The African civs in general, it's the training, the resources. It's the javelin riders are very strong as well. It's the influence mechanic and able to kind of send double strength shipments out of thin air because just randomly, like, hey, I've got 1,000 of this make-believe resource called influence in the Fortress Age. I get to send 5 Mamluks for free. Just click that button, in they come, and job gets done. Well, meanwhile, Ottoman have to plan the Mamluks and maybe send a 1k coin beforehand to even then think about sending Mamluks afterwards. Right, let's hit that refresh button to see if there's been done. I remember I spent ages trying to get the audio levels for my follow alerts just right. I think I've got them a bit too loud. I want to turn them down a little bit later on, which is kind of annoying. Bits93 saying Nerf Brits 2021. I think you may be seeing a Brit game coming up, and yes, the Brit civilization is very strong right now in today's meta. They always have been. I don't really get it. It's one of those, like, everyone's accepted that the Brits as a civilization are completed. They're tucked in the box. The box is locked. They're not being touched. Leave it as it is. Don't touch anything. They're what the standard of most civs should be in terms of kind of unique things, having some ads to everything, being poor versus others, a little bits here and there. But they've always been strong, and with better maps now, they just get even stronger. It was the maps which always held them back, but now they're doing pretty well. So we're just waiting for the players to start the third game. We are playing with no minutes delayed, but I think there will be naturally like a 30 seconds. And the boys they're good eggs as well, but they're always heads in the game focusing. And I know that Passi's one of the things we always struggle with at this level is getting the APM. So I don't think these boys can even contemplate trying to look between 2 screens and jobs. Oh, we have a Rukatan dropping a sub as well. Thank you very much for that. Very, very appreciated. I feel bad. I feel bad now calling you orangutan before. Okay, I didn't call you as an insult. I was like, oh, Rukatan, orangutan, banter. But yeah, the Moab AOE 3 tower spammer is here in the chat. Honestly, Woodsy, I haven't been watching Love. As soon as they come back from Casanova, I watched all the fallout from it. It was very exciting, and then watched it for about another week until they all coupled up again. And then I think I was like, yeah, nah, I'm done now. I might save it for a couple of, like, if I'm on a coach ride somewhere and I need something to watch, I might just catch up and like kind of drop into it as like the second part of the season and see how it goes. But I've really been focusing on my master's project at the moment, which I'm getting there. I've got lots of words to write. I'm just getting towards the end of the simulations now, and it's going to be tight. Like this month is going to be a messy month. Like as the previous months, my motivation has been quite low, but now it's like, right, I'm doing this. I've got the deadline pressure coming up. Everything's going on, but now it should be good. Bit curious. I'm not seeing the next game come up. Usually they like to watch the end of the game and then hop in. So I'll let them know, but I can't see the message. I can't see the games at the moment. Harrison said, I've seen some people talking about patch tomorrow. What's the deal with this? I would be a person who may know whether a patch is incoming or not. My indication is that there is no patch coming tomorrow. I have not seen any early indication of one coming in. A developer has said that it takes about... And the thing is, they're not going to do a quick hotfix patch. They go, bam, 2 changes, let's get it done and posted out. They're going to wait until they're going to get a decent balanced patch fixed together, and they say it takes about a month for changes written down in the office progress through the different teams, the coders, the balance testers, or the balance people verifying that there's changes, going through, putting the patch together, sealing it off, sending it off to Steam, getting that process, and then the patch becoming available. So it does take a while. I got no inside knowledge, but based on previous patches and previous updates, they usually come in the first or the second Tuesday of the month. So realistically, I'm expecting it 7th of September earliest, but maybe something like the 14th on one of those Tuesdays. I know that they want to crack on with it because, for example, in that final yesterday was Interjection was talking about a lot of things like, oh yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is maybe a bit too strong. We'll change this. Oh, this is really cool. This is what you intended. Maybe we need to change this. But it does take a while for it to come through. Oh yeah, Passi definitely will be playing Brits. I can imagine that he will do. And yes, we've got the game. Hooray! I can see the game. Right, guys, we're good for our final game. So it looks like we're playing on the Pepper Coast. This is Passi's home map pick. So let's see what he's got going. And we've got Brits versus Germans. So we did see Passi playing the Germans earlier, Sheckler going Dutch, but now Sheckler's bringing out the German civ himself. Passi going the main squeeze. And because Sheckler won the last game, he's chosen to play the Germans on the Pepper Coast, and Passi gets to play as the Brits to counter pick. So, quite a nice map for both civs. Passi was talking to me about how this is going to be like Brits' most amazing map. I can get so many manners, I can do market, I can get hunting dogs, I can buy this and that. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But I know for a fact that Sheckler's going, right, I got a market, I got a coin, I'm just going to buy a train post and buy a TP straight away. And his explorer's going to the north of the map. We'll come across the 20 coin. He should skip it. He does skip it. He's looking for the trading line. I think he's going to drop that down there as well. I'm in the wrong overlay. Let's move over. I was actually went over to check the scoreboard, but it correctly read 1-1. But I saw my beautiful face there, thinking, ugh, I don't want to see that now. And yeah, we're going back in. So Passi dropping down the trading line on the very defensive socket behind his base. He's not interested in trying to get onto the map here, onto this line. It'd be very expensive if Sheckler wanted to take Stagecoach on the northern side with the 4 TPs. Could try and go 3 and deny Passi ever gets onto the 4th with military, but I think both players are just happy just taking an early trading post, get the early experience going, and just letting the shipments roll in. I don't think any decks have been picked just yet, but we do see these villagers, they don't have their hunting dogs. I was like, not playing it forward, do they? Do they not? They don't. But he's got the house, he's got the markets, he's got the stagecoach, the train post. As far as I'm aware, Sheckler's very happy, even sending in 2 settler wagons at 1 minute 35 seconds. Insane time there for the Germans. The British player already sending his 3 villagers. He's going for this small trickle of food, which I think is about... For some reason, I thought it was just shy of half a vil, but actually, for the wood and gold, I think it's about 25 wood and gold per second, or somewhere around that, which, or per minute. So if you get to gathering at 0.5 wood per second over entire minutes, over 10 seconds is 5 wood, 6 seconds is 30 wood, so it's just shy of a vil. It's not equivalent to a single villager, but it's just shy of one. So if you get these big kind of trickle treasures early in the game, they do pay themselves off pretty fast. It's worth getting. Either get them as the first treasure in H1, or get them after you transitioned and you picked up other treasures on the map. I know that sounds a bit like that's a bit in between both camps, but don't really want to be going out for like 25 wood. Oh, I've just found this 25 wood here. Let's try and go find that bigger treasure like the 85 XP or the 75 coin or something else up here which is worth taking. I'm struggling to see one. Oh yeah, 100 XP as an example, and then actually go back at 3 minutes to try and take it. You probably don't want to do that. Anyway, Passi here, going for Virginia Company, sending that second shipment. He's very happy about his map. Lots of hunt behind his base. He's got his back gazelle, back elephant, also 2 back mines. It's very nice to see. Germans happy with this map. You know, they've got the 2 tin mines near their base, 2 back tin mines, a Akan settlement here, so they can go for the Akan gold mine at a later point. This is a gold mine out on the map as well. Both some good fishing opportunities here, but I don't think Passi is much of a fishing player. Sheckler is. He did see some fishing boats age in game number 1 when he was playing as the Dutch. Sheckler, he's stopped shopping. He's getting hunting dogs. He's only now getting gang saw. Probably should have been getting gang saw before hunting dogs, because you always know you're transitioning onto most of your economy onto wood at this moment in time, and you only have a couple on the wood, on the food behind. Not the biggest deal. We'll be getting 75 for the placer mines, and he might actually leave it to get 200 in total, so he will have placer mines and 25 remaining for steel traps on 700 wood later on, and you can build a house with it. Wood's come in. Let's see what we can do with it. Would it be stable? 2 houses. I think that's what we expect. But yeah, his villagers are not going onto the cold, and he's dropping down defensive racks. After Sheckler, what's going on here, mate? What's this? Even saloon early here for desert infantry would be better than defensive racks. I feel not liking the crossbows here. Especially as we're playing on an African map. Desert infantry are doing so well at the moment. And also desert archers. 20 range, double damage versus heavy infantry as well. Just some quality units versus a Brit musketeer spam. But Passi in with the sneak, getting the scout. And this explorer just scouting everything he needs to know. He does see barracks and stable. He does see the wood. Does that have to be play of the day? Like, look at this scouting information. He scouts precisely what's coming in. He scouts first card, 700 wood, instead of 3 settler wagons. That in itself is worth quite a bit of information. And Sheckler now... Yeah, he's going 700 wood with 8 bows, not even going for 3 settler wagons. He's just been very, very aggressive with his shipment progression. Crossbow being trained. Ulan's being trained behind. Does have placer mines being researched. Another building a house behind this. And I think Sheckler wants to take this H2 on a map where Passi's got lots and lots of economy going. He's going to try and get a double batch of pike defense. He's expecting a lot of cavalry pushing in, but soon Passi will be making longbows behind this. There's a longbow switch coming in now. Maybe double racks. The only thing I can think of is that Passi is slow to drop down a second building, and his production's still on 1 barracks, and Sheckler overwhelms with the shipment and barracks and stable support, so he's pushing in across the map now. 13 bows coming in. Let's look at this. Yeah, 14 bows. He's got a batch of 1 samurai as well. So, the 8 plus 5. Yeah, there's a batch of 1 coming in, but I think he's going to try and focus on getting a batch of Ulan's coming in, but he's got still a lot of food. Sending the settler wagons now, but the focus is on this push. You feel that there's going to be a second Rax coming down very soon. I don't see a second Rax coming down at this moment in time. He's training a batch of longbows to defend. The pikes are going to try and push around, but the crossbows are moving into position. Passi does have resources available to call Minutemen if he so chooses. Longbows being shit behind this. To be fair, Minutemen now would probably be the only time you can really send it, because otherwise the army, I feel, is just going to get crushed. The crossbows working their way very quickly. There's Minutemen being called, and you're right on top of the crossbows in melee, doing great damage. Obviously, crossbows in melee are very terrible. Ulan's being called in to try and save this push, but I think just the defender's advantage here from Passi is going to work out super, super well. Germany is on a bit of a low eco strategy behind this, sending in the 2 settler wagons afterwards, and Passi's on 43 vils, albeit having 20 of them idled. Longbows hitting the floor now, but there's still a couple pikes. They are low HP, so these will get picked up, and I think the longbows behind will be under threat, but there's enough longbows now. He does have 15 on the field. He trained about a batch of 5, sent 5 or 6 from home city, and the 5 pikes here just ensure Sheckler has to run away at the moment. And I hope Sheckler stopped training units. No, he hasn't. He's trained 5 pikes now. Obviously, pikemen. Not certain why there's pikemen on the field here from Sheckler. Sending 700 coin. He's going to transition villagers onto food now, looking to try and age it behind. This H2 has gone pretty poorly here for the German player. The Ulan mass has been cut down, so there's less Ulans to upgrade and cav combat in the next stage. Passi is still pretty happily not being punished too much for his vils, up to 47 vils in total. Does have his great coats, so he gets the thumbs up in my book. And he still has so many elephants behind, chilling out. He will send coin of himself, and he will age up afterwards. But remember, the British players, they do age slow. So there's a chance for Sheckler. He does have tempo still with the 2 TPs. He hasn't lost any units in terms of economic units, so he does have that going for him in that sense. With 8 settler wagons, he should have enough economy to make a decent push in the Fortress Age. Ulan's going in, but there's enough longbows to do a bit of a kill them before they engage. So at the moment, it's trading 3 Ulans just for 2 longbows. Yep, there's the third going down. 2 longbows do go down. Pikemen chasing afterwards. I don't know what the pikemen are doing. Why is Sheckler gone pikes? And basically trades 5 Ulans for 2 longbows and a vil, which is not the trade Sheckler needed there. He needs this mass. He needed to keep training Ulans during the transition, and then send a shipment like 8 skirms into 9 Ulans to really break through the colonial British army before he gets upgraded. Sheckler's nearly there. Passi's only clicked up now, so this is like the critical time if Sheckler can get something done with his first military shipments. But losing all his units, which he would upgrade, is a bit of a feels bad moment. Saloon coming down here for Sheckler. I guess that's for Mercs this moment. He does have improved mercenaries, so I guess he wants to try and see what's in the saloon. But this is where he's got Amazon warriors. Ooh, hello. This isn't too bad actually. Could have been a lot worse. I hope Sheckler knows actually what these Amazon warriors do. And if he starts to train Harkapus says, will be a bit upset, because versus mass ranged infantry here, they're going to do enough damage per second to actually kill him before they engage, I think. Anyway, lots of gold mines available. 2 behind his base. Has Sheckler scouted the far back one? He has. He's got 1, 2. He's got 1 coming out here. Has got a 8 skirm shipment behind this. But so the thing with the saloon opening up on a African map as Germany is you can open with desert archers and desert warriors. You don't have to commit to making them. In the third age, you can upgrade them to veteran status, plus 25% combat stats and 50% marksman build time. So then you can continue making outlaws while you make other units like skirmishers or cavalry. But it also allows you to see what your mercs are, so you can then play on your mercenaries instead. So it gives you the option, flexibility at that moment in time, whether you want to have an outlaw plus regular unit competition, or do you want to go for something more merc heavy. This Ulan raid is not getting the job done. 1 or 2 vils max, but the longbows just stand there and fire, and losing the best part of 6 colonial Ulans there. Just not what you need, and pushing with skirms now not going to work, mate. Just back off. Remember, Passi's seen everything thanks to these manor houses and this tactical placement that this houses provides is certainly helping Passi feel a lot more ease. This is what Passi sees right now. Everything in his screen is under visible. Happy upgrading to well, he needs to upgrade to vet longbows very, very soon, but he's going for vet husk first. Another batch of 5. Second stable coming in. He knows that Germany looking to push in Ulan skirms, so he's just going to mass stable units, whether it's Dragoon or Hussars, and then send maybe Cav Combat as card number 2 here. Yeah, the thing is, tin mines is only minus 500 coin compared to other mines, but they still obviously gather at the same rate. But there's quite a lot. The density of mines is very high. There's some maps where you'd walk for miles to go from one mine to another. So there's certainly lots of coin on this map as well, and the Jesuits as well. Guys, interesting thing about the Jesuits, I've not seen this in the patch notes anywhere, but it has. If we look at the Jesuits. Smokeless powder. This was gunpowder siege. Now it's gunpowder attack, gunpowder cavalry, and gunpowder trooper, which is basically anybody with a musket on the land or rifle. 10% attack. Yeah, this is quite strong. Just to pick up the natives, upgrade that 1 tech, and bam, that is 10% there and then. That's basically the same price of a colonial card, and the stats of the 15% upgrade, but obviously this is only 10%. But it's only worth thinking about of getting your skirmisher, your dragoon upgrades. This affects dragoons definitely because they're gunpowder. War wagons. Look at this veteran war wagon. It's gunpowder cavalry. So anybody with a weapon gets 10% all actions damage. So that's attack and siege. And is that artillery as well? It is artillery as well. So your big boy mortar can go from 500 siege up to 525 siege. Wow. It's a bit of a shame here, Sheckler making the saloon and not really making anything from the saloon. Maybe was like praying for clutch Jaegers, but no Jaegers today. I think how it's built and how he's played, I think there's a possibility of like going 700 wood first and even going for a 3rd trading post, something like that, and maybe cutting back on the units trained in the 2nd age and really playing with tempo in the 3rd age. I think it's possible. He's gone for stagecoach now as we speak, so he's just trying anything to get a bit of a competitive edge at this moment, which I like. He realises he's down economy. If he just try and train his unit at this moment, he's just going to lose. This is something I'll do, is just keep training units and hope for the best. He's actually trying to do something about it. He's not pushing. He's going to let Passi push out if he wants to go for more resources. Passi's tried his best to wall up. Could have just ward there, ward here, ward this way, ward that way, but it's got a bit of a weird shaped wall there, but it does the job. But now we have dragoons. Arsenal is down behind. Is Passi getting his ranged cavalry? Caracol, not just yet. He's got his cavalry cuirass already, so these hussars, 464 HP on the cavalry combat. Very strong units. 19 of these, 17 dragoons, and 43 longbows just chilling. And Passi's just waiting for German to push, but because he feels like the Germans on the timer. Brits got the economy, but Sheckler's just going to try and play his cards right. Actually, let Passi come out of his safety of his town centre, the houses, away from the production, and try and get him on the open land where the Uhlans can do some damage. Looking at Sheckler's card, although, yeah, it's just units. There's no upgrades just yet, and only 22 skirmishes would be eaten up very quickly by the 43 longbows. And I think the longbows and the pike could even just win this entire game themselves. They don't even need the hussars and dragoons. This is going to go very badly for Sheckler very, very quickly, and all because H2 went, well, not very well here for Daddy Sheck. Longbows engage in the Ville, they go off. Uhlans want to go charge straight in. They think they see longbows, they're going to commit, and then boom, out come so many dragoons. Hussars body blocking as well. War wagons will get decent damage on Hussars, but Hussars are much tankier than Uhlans. The Uhlan line crumbles. Hussars on the skirmishers, but longbows are literally shift clicking from one war wagon to another. You can see how they're focusing on the war wagons, and they fall down very, very quickly. The gold miners having to run back. Sheckler now sending 8 Uhlans, but unfortunately his entire army has just been cleaned up on the open, and losing the gold mine as well. Not the great position. Does have one more tin mine to try and remass on. Queuing up one war wagon from the stables, but these guys train very, very slow. It will take a while for them to get on. and even sacrificing these war wagons. Maybe should pull these out. Just as soon as they're going bad, okay, just say, okay, I sacrificed my skirms on retreat. But yeah, Sheckler calling the resignation at that moment in time. Not really surprised at that moment. So in the chat, Sheckler's Fizz saying they're giving the sad face as well, and I know today it looks like Daddy Sheckler couldn't put it off, but no worries. This is a league format, and so Passi wins round number 1, 2-1, and earns 2 points. Sheckler earns 1 point, and these players both have another 8 games to go through, so it's a long season. Should take about 2 months, but everyone gets to play everybody, and yeah, it's very nice. But although there is pressure on these games, if you have a bad game, it's not the end of your tournament life. It's okay. Dust yourself off, come back again, and come back stronger. And I think next time Sheckler plays the Germans, I think he may try and go for the traditional bot semi-FF and try and play from there, or maybe Germerks. German Age 2, not too sure that worked that game. Certainly the build order is a bit iffy there. I think maybe going Salinger Wood and going like opening Outlaws could be a good start in that situation. But Passi, he did say that he likes to pick the Pepper Coast and play the British. He thinks it's a great civ map for the civ for this map. But although he can pick, every player gets to pick their maps. So the first map is neutral. Map 2 is going to be player A's map, and map 3 is going to be player B's map. It's winner picks first for the civ, so it might be Passi might have to pick a civ first for this map, or he could then get himself to a counter pick. But I don't think Brits can ever really be counter picks. That's just how they're so strong. But no, good series there, good opening. Let's just have a quick look through the graphs. It probably would be quite decisive victory. Villager population, as it is, losing 1 unit. Idled a little bit before the click up. Apart from that, though, real standard, solid play here. There from the Vils. Oh, they're from British, should I say? And military population. Early on, it's looking like, oh, hang on a minute, Sheckler maybe breaking through, but it's the 6 longbows, it's the Minutemen on the crossbows, it's the reinforcing pikes and longbows. And the thing is, Sheckler ages up to the fortress stage with 0 units. You never want to be in the fortress stage with 0 units as Germany. What you really want is to have like 14, 16 Vils, no, 16 Uhlans out of the map, forcing the defensive response, but you keep them alive, and then that's when the veteran Uhlan comes in, and that's when then the cavalry combat coming in later, and you push in with an army of like 40 vet combat Uhlans and just clean up. But Passi always ahead in military population, 131 at that final fight, and of course that fight was only going one way, and unfortunately it was going Passi's way for that game. Fitzbro replying to Fitzbro, this guy wants a show match with Sheckler. Who wants a show match with Sheckler? GUA beat my house and with Brits, and Passi's Brits beat Sheckler's Germans. Are the British OP? Yes, the British are strong. I would say the British are top 5 civ, behind Hausa and Ethiopia. They probably share that top step. Yeah, I will say Dutch, especially now if they're Dutch is on an African map. I think that's Dutch do very well now with the strong musketeer units from the saloon as the outlaws. I'll leave that final spot in the top 5. I wouldn't know who the top 5th there. I don't think it's gonna be the Germans. I don't think it's there. I've no idea who Sheckler's Fizz is, but I think Fitzbro is looking to go for a game right now. Fitz, are you actually wanting to play this game with a spectator available, so we get to cast this, because that could be a bit of fun. And Fitz, also another player in this tournament, wants to show us what he's done, and maybe this could be a good opportunity for Fitz to whip out the African civs, because this tourney, unfortunately for Fitz, we're not having the African civs, which I understand Fitz was a little bit upset, but I'm really happy to see that Fitz still says he wants to keep in the tournament, which is great to see, because at the end of the day, this tournament's a bit of fun, and it's all about having fun in Age of Empires, which I think quite a lot of people forget.